the tree.
What's up, guys? Straight from the chest. My name is Justin Groff, and I will be your host on this awesome, crazy, spectacular personal development podcast. Guys, if it's your first time tuning in, understand that this is a personal development podcast. We mainly talk about reaching your ultimate purpose and how to get there. That's the premise behind this podcast. So if that's something you're wanting to grasp more of or obtain more of, then this is the podcast for you. Please keep listening. And to all my veteran viewers, it's that time again. It's the We're Not Friends segment time. And guys, this goes out to all of the gym bros or my gym bros out there in the world. Guys, if there's one thing that I can't stand above not having good manners in the gym, it is all of the guys that try to inconspicuously lift their shirt up to wipe their face because they have so much sweat on their face. They try to wipe their face with their shirt while meanwhile showing their abs. If there's anything that I can't stand, it's that gym bag douchery right there. I can't stand that. No one cares that you have abs. I have abs. I probably have better abs than you do, but I'm not showing them like a douche. I'd have more respect for you if you were to take your shirt completely off and just say, here I am. I actually don't get as irritated when guys are posing in the mirror taking gym selfies. That is the one thing that will irritate me the most. You know why? Because you're too much of a pussy to come out there and say, look at my abs. Show it here, look at my abs, and lift your shirt up like a man. Just do it like, you mean it. You're trying to inconspicuously do it by wiping your sweat off your face. You're not even that sweaty, dude. And you're trying to wipe your sweat off. What sweat? You're not even that sweaty. Some of the guys I've seen do it, they're not even sweating. And they're lifting their shirt up and just so happens that there's pretty girls around. Oh, I wonder why you're doing that, dude. Anyways, ridiculous. We're not friends if you're that gym bag douche. We're not. I can't talk to you. We're not going to associate whatsoever. Stop lifting your shirt up, showing your abs. If you want to show your abs, just pull your shirt up. Say, hey, everybody, look at my abs. Look how good they look right now. Look at how good I think my abs look right now. Because that's exactly what you're saying without saying it. You're saying that inadvertently. We all get it. We know. Just be upfront with it. Be bold with it. Own it. Don't try to just lift your shirt up and wipe your face. It's not even sweaty to showcase your abs. We get it, dude. You have abs. No big deal. A lot of guys have abs, but we're not trying to show them. We're not friends if you're that douche. Sorry, not sorry. Moving forward, guys, this is Thanksgiving week. Tomorrow, Thanksgiving. And I'm super excited about that because it's the one time a year that I really I don't hold any kind of nutritional label on the day. I'm just eating and I'm enjoying. And my eating and enjoying is a little bit, it's still pretty reserved compared to what I'd like to be. But I can't go too much because I just end up feeling like crap. And I'm not trying to feel like crap. But I definitely don't put any kind of restriction on what I'm going to eat. So I'm eating pie, I'm eating mashed potatoes, sweet potatoes, all that stuff. I mean, I really could care less about the turkey at this point. It is all about fixings. It's all about the fixings. It's all about the sides, the Hawaiian rolls. Oh, love it. And I'm just looking forward to that. I had a conversation with one of my buddies in the gym the other day, and he was saying how he was going to take to tomorrow pretty easy. Like he wasn't going to go all crazy. And I looked at him in a kind of a sour way because, well, my heart was sour first and then it showcased on my face. Then I expressed it on my face. But I'm like, and this is to give you some background on this guy. he's not a bodybuilder. I mean, he is. I guess you could say he does bodybuilding split routines, but he's not getting ready for any competition. He's not 6%, almost shredded. You know, none of that. I mean, 6% would be shredded, but he's not dialed in at all. He's a regular looking guy. And I remember thinking, I thought to him, I said this to him, I said, why are you, because I know that he doesn't have any event that he's trying to get ready for in the upcoming weeks. I said, why are you pussing out on this day? Just go all in, dude. I mean, if you're going to restrict yourself on this day, you have bigger problems. Because if you can't you can't let yourself go on this one day when you're amongst your family and your friends. I mean, you need to take an inventory of every other day you eat in your life. I mean, all other 364 days you eat. I mean, you should think about eating better on those days. And not this day. This is the day where you just go all out. And you do so with rightful reasoning. Because it's Thanksgiving, man, and you're around friends and family. And if you're not getting prepared for anything, I don't see why you're not enjoying that. You're already going to feel like somewhat crap after the time is over or into the next day. So you might as well feel like complete crap, right? What's the point of only going 80% when you're already past that marker where you're not going to feel good the next day? You might as well just go full bore. And then take an inventory of every other day out of the year that you're not eating well and clean those days up. Don't clean up Thanksgiving. What are you thinking, man? So we had that discussion. He's all, yeah, there's some truth to that, man. And whether or not he's going to apply it, I don't know. But I had to say that because I feel that way. Like if you're getting ready for competition or a physique show of some sort, okay, I get it. Or something where your body's going to be put to the test in some avenue, I get it. You don't want to feel like crap. You don't want to look like crap. I get it. But come on, man. I mean, that's not the case with you. So just go all out. And when Thanksgiving, it's a great time, right? Like we have fun with it. We are around our family. Some of you don't want to be around your family. I don't blame you. But because we all got crazy people in our family. We got crazy cousins, crazy grandmas, crazy aunts, you know. And I mean, that's just part of what makes us unique in our own gatherment of family. I mean, I particularly, and I'm not going to say anything too personal, but to be honest with you, I love Thanksgiving. But I want to be in and I want to be out, you know. I like talking to my family, but my family and when I say my family, I mean like my cousins, and we're worlds apart, and it's not a bad thing, but we have definitely a different structure of what each families or each person's life is. I mean, I can tell you this, I feel like I'm the black sheep of the family. And I don't mean that in a derogatory or bad way. I just mean that like, I feel like I'm kind of the outcast a little bit. And I've told my mom this multiple occasions. None of my cousins listen to my podcast, so it doesn't even matter. They probably don't even know I have a podcast. That's how disconnected I am from some of my direct family, you know? And I mean, in their defense, I don't really know what they're doing either. You know, I mean, and that's just the way it is for me, but I'm okay with that. And I don't not love my cousins or my direct family or my aunts or uncles. I could love them, of course. I would do anything for them, but at the same time, I don't need to always talk to them or have a relationship with them. I think that, and I don't know why, but that's the way that I am. My mom was a little bit different in terms of how she grew up. She was always close with her cousins and whatnot. And, you know, for me, it's kind of the opposite. Maybe because I felt like from the gate, I didn't really have much in common with them, which is fine. It's okay. But that shouldn't be you shouldn't feel pressed when you don't have things in common with people to associate with them. And I might step on some people's toes here with this because I'm talking about family and all that, but that's okay. This podcast is going to be centered around family today because it's Thanksgiving tomorrow, and we're breaking bread with our family. And just maybe it might help somebody to understand you may not get along with your family as well as you'd like. Other people are going through the same thing. And while I don't have any quarrels that I might be going through with anybody in my family, I'll just leave it at this. I like to be in and I like to be out. So I think that'll give you some context as to how I view our family parties and such. And I feel like in this season, I feel like I'm not where I should be. But yet at the same time, I feel like I'm exactly where I'm supposed to be. And I know that a lot of you feel the same way. You feel like you're not where you should be, but at the same time, you feel like you're exactly where you're supposed to be. And there's a peace that dwells within you in regards to that. In my life, in my family, they don't facilitate the same way I do. In fact, none of them are entrepreneurs except for my aunts and uncles and such. They're entrepreneurs. But none of my direct cousins are entrepreneurs. And that's not a bad thing. We're just two different cuts. And because of that, I feel like there's not because I'm an entrepreneur and they're not, but because I feel like there's not other things that associate around being an entrepreneur. I don't feel like I have that in common with them. And I believe also that it's me that's the problem. I believe it's myself that allows a guard up to keep up that doesn't allow them to come into my life because maybe we're just a little bit different. And I'm a sensitive person. You're probably sensitive as well. I'm sensitive to those topics. Or I'm sensitive to those types of situations with people. And I feel as though I'm not gonna unravel something that doesn't need to be unraveled. So in essence, if I don't have to talk more than small talk with you, I'm not going to. I like to let things organically arise, and if they don't, then they don't. And I think, though, sometimes I just feel like because I don't have anything in common with my cousins, and they have families and such, and that they've made, and I don't, I feel like an outcast. But I gotta realize, just like you have to realize, it's just not your time yet. It's not my time. God wanted me to do, well, I don't know exactly the goal that he had in mind, but in the way that my life has unraveled or spun out, it's been my businesses came first, or setting up for my purpose in life and getting that in evolution. And then I presume the family's going to come next. But I believe that God's preparing me, and this is a perfect example of what your life looks like when it's compared to others. It's not going to look like somebody else's life. It's not even going to look like your cousin's life. It's not going to look like your brother's life or your auntie's life. It's not going to look like your dad's life. It's not going to look like that. It's going to have your label and your name on it, specifically made and orchestrated and ordained around you. And you have to be okay with that. You have to know that, yes, you're on a timeline, but you're on God's timeline. You're not on someone else's timeline. And just because you haven't met that right person yet, just because you haven't tied the knot yet with that person, just because you haven't had a kid yet, just because you haven't bought a house yet, just because you haven't fill in the blank, just because, that doesn't mean that time's not coming. Just because your time hasn't switched over into this season of your life where you're making a family, where you're going to Home Depot on the weekends with your wife. I mean, just because those things haven't orchestrated themselves yet does not mean they're not in orchestration. And that's something that you have to be sound about and know that you're where you're at because that's exactly where you're supposed to be, even though by your own logic, you can't understand it, but that's okay because it's not yours or mine to understand. The time and the day will come when you reflect and you do understand. And right now, the thing that you need to do is get your vision, get a clear vision, and continue to focus and follow that vision. No matter what people around you are doing or saying, your family, and the reason why I'm predicating this day is because your family is going to come from different cities, probably flying in or driving in or whatever, and you're going to all come under the same roof, and you're going to talk about things that you haven't spoken about for years probably, or at least since last year. And they're going to want to know how you're doing. And if you have the same stories you had last year, they're probably going to see that you're not driven, that you don't have any kind of goals or ambitions or aspirations. And all the while, you're in your head thinking, but I know that God has something bigger for me. I can feel it. You don't have to feel it. You don't have my gut. You don't have my heart. You don't have my passion. You definitely don't have my vision. And I understand why you can't feel it, but that doesn't mean you get to call me out the way that you think I should be, because that doesn't pertain to you. I don't pertain to you. Even though we're family, we're blood, we're definitely not the same visionary. We definitely don't have the same construction or elements that we're equipped with. And just because your aunt or your grandma or your cousin or your brother or your sister might inadvertently pass judgment, that doesn't mean that you hold on to that judgment just because they're family. You know beyond a shadow of a doubt that what's working and breeding and festering within you is something larger than life itself. And when the time is right, when that day approaches, when you're over the horizon, that's when that door is going to have a big light around it. And you're going to be able to see clearly, this is the door that I walked through. This is my purpose. This is the reason why I didn't meet him or her. This is the reason why I didn't have a family yet. This is the reason why I started my business first. This is the reason why this, that, and the other had to happen before I saw the door, before I was invited in to God's temple, before I was invited to the table to eat. I had to do everything else beforehand before I was ready to eat at that big boy table. Your God is calling you. Your purpose is on the line. You need to do exactly what you need to do to that's what's in your reach. You need to do everything in your power to make what's in your reach productive, and to do everything that you can in your reach, because it's only within your reach that you can make the quality. It's only the things that are within your reach. It's not the things that are not. I know that you want to do things exponentially awesome, and if you don't have everything that you have and you need, you're not going to do it. You're going to be all in or nothing. You're black and white. You're 1,000% or zero. I get it. I'm the same way. But you gotta understand, that's not God's economy. That is definitely not the way that God functions. He's going to give you a little piece, and he's going to expect you to move mountains with it. And if you don't treat it like the valuable little piece that it is, he's not going to entrust you with more. So right now, no matter what aunt, grandma, cousin, brother, sister, mom, dad is telling you, you need to be doing this. Oh, you didn't do this yet. Why aren't you doing what your brother is doing? Why aren't you doing what your sister's doing? Even if those phrases are spewed your direction, you can lay peaceful knowing that you have the armor of God on and that you're being directed by him, that you're only his soldier, you're only his vessel, but that God does great things. And if right now you're not praying for expectancy over your life, and I'm talking about expectancy upon healing, sickness, evolution, financial wealth, all of that. And I mean financial wealth because if you can be blessed, you're going to bless others. If you have more financial stability, you're going to be able to bless others. And that's exactly what God wants. Provided that the person that's being blessed financially is the right vessel to be blessed with. So make sure that you're getting prepared right now to become the right and proper vessel to be blessed. Because I promise you, that blessing, that breakthrough, it's coming. Happy Thanksgiving.